things unfold today. Took about 7 attempts, I think. Alright, everyone in the van is up now, and I'm just cooking up some breakfast for the birthday boy. Alright, breakfast for the birthday boy. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Coffee's coming up next. Woohoo! Alright, now for the birthday boy go juice. Here you go.
Yay.
Is that the best instant coffee you've ever had?
Starbucks ain't got nothing on me.
Alright, well, we have been conferring here this morning, trying to figure out a game plan, because I think this is the first time we've really been in this kind of situation where we're getting low on resources, we don't have cell coverage, it's cold, so we're just up here where it's warm and cozy in the bed, and I think what we're going to do is go into town, which is about 6 minutes away, and just try to get some cell coverage. Doing that runs the risk that we could lose this spot, but I'm going to guess that's not too much of a concern, so I think we should be okay. Don't you think?
Hopefully.
So, I think that's the plan. I think we're going to run into town.
And by town, she means the thriving metropolis that is East Glacier. I think it might have a total of 2 stop signs.
So it's almost 10 o'clock. It's getting a little chilly in here. This actually is East Coast time. We've left it so we can see what time it is back home. What we call home. Look what's going on over here. Our kitty does not like cold.
Well, we've transitioned from the back of the van to the front. It's kind of the big news of the day. Now we're just waiting for the windows to defrost? No. Unfog? Maybe. A lot of moisture in the air.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about cold, rainy days. Everything gets really damp and wet. I actually had to use the paper towel to dry off the window in our kitchen area because that was pretty wet. the perfect solution for a couple hours. We came to Glacier Park Lodge. They have bathrooms, a really nice fireplace, a lot of seating, some outlets, and Wi-Fi, but I don't think we'll have access to the Wi-Fi. But that's pretty good. A good place to get out of the cold and rain. Little Kitty's snug here, so she'll be fine. And we'll ride out some of today.
Thank you.
Well, after a few hours, we are back in the van. It is pretty chilly and damp out today, so coming to this lodge has been a game changer. I think it would have been pretty miserable if we were just stuck in the van with this cold weather and no cell service and having to be careful about our power. So, we're very thankful.
And now, I'm making some lunch. On the menu is some soup and some hot ham and cheese.
It's a bit of a late lunch. It's actually after 3 o'clock right now. And our kitty hasn't moved very much. Those look good.
Should be ready soon. Lunch is served.
Thank you. Oh, this would be nice to have some warm soup. Oh, this is good. And this will be really good to warm up my fingers. Leaving the lodge, we checked out the local trading post to see if we could find any goodies there, but it was way too overpriced for Steve and Audra. So we kept on moving. We came back to our spot. We're all settled in, and now it's time to play some Cabo for Steve's birthday. Do you think I should let him win for his birthday?
let me win. My mama told me I'm a winner.
Cabo.
Oh, really? Let's see it. No.
Sorry.
Unreal.
Steve, are you sure your mama was right? If he hadn't trash talked.
Of all the dirty, rotten things to do to a guy on his birthday.
Well, it's not raining, other than spitting a little bit. We're gonna exercise because we've been sitting all day. And we're checking out what's up beyond where we parked to see what we're missing out on.
Plus, it's a good way to cool down after getting shellacked at Cabo.
Feels good to get out after being cooped up all day. Yeah, it's pretty muddy up here. Are you glad we parked where we did?
Yeah, I think we could have made that first hill very carefully, but I don't know that it's worth it.
Yeah, maybe if the weather was nicer, it wasn't muddy, and we were planning on staying here for a while, it might be worth coming up to find a nicer spot, but for what we're doing, I think where we are parked is okay. The sun is out.
Yeah. Let's know what that looks like.
Alright, well, we're getting ourselves ready to go. Getting the van together. Making sure we can actually see out the windows with all the moisture that was built up in here. We've got the inverter running. We are charging up our laptops. And now I think we just have to go and get off the leveling block. Get that and get on our way. Ick. I'm gonna clean this off a little bit. That's nice and muddy. Alright, here we go. Yay, we're in the park and it is a beautiful day. Oh, look at that.
In a quarter mile, continue straight.
How's that for cool? Alright, well, we've come to Two Medicine Lake at the South Shore Trailhead. We're going to hike to Aster Falls. It is around 10 o'clock, and the lots around here are all pretty full already. Thankfully, we just scored a spot. I didn't expect it to be this busy because Two Medicine is supposed to be less popular than the Going to the Sun area. But we got a spot, and we got pretty things to check out, and hopefully we'll see a moose. Alright, well here's Two Medicine Lake, and isn't that cool? It looks like a volcano. Fun. There was a guided group right in front of us, and they were looking at the berries. So I guess those are the smallest kind of huckleberries, and then there were also some regular huckleberries there. The regular ones are the ones I'd been seeing. The little tiny ones I had not, and it was fun to try them. They had kind of like bitter aftertaste though. Wow, what a gorgeous hike. Well, we're searching for moose. These marshy areas would be perfect. So far, we're not finding any. So Steve,
Yeah.
just 0.1 mile left. You can handle that?
It's probably like straight uphill.
Yeah, probably. And probably no escalator or elevator.
Yep.
Oh man, look, there's some steps. Oh man, can he make it? Can he make it? Oh man, he's losing steam.
In honor of my friend Meg, who is real big into huckleberries, I'm going to try one for her. Has a tint of poison to it.
A little less tart, I think. Kind of like a, It's like a weird aftertaste. Kind of feels like a blueberry raspberry combination at first, and then a little bit of a bite at the end. What, you want a treat? You want a treat? Hmm? You want a treat? Here you go. Alright, well, we're back from our hike, and I thought it was a pretty good hike. And I think it's probably Steve approved. Let's see what he says.
Yeah, for the most part. It was short, flat, good payoff at the end. The only negative is they didn't have any benches. It would have been nice to kind of sit and just kind of enjoy the area a little bit. Maybe let wildlife come to you, but outside of that, it was pretty good.
No moose. So if I'm remembering correctly, I believe it's been 6 days since we got groceries. I think it's the longest we've gone, and I think that's pretty good. We're getting kind of bottom of the barrel, but I think we still have probably enough stuff to make a couple more meals. But we are hoping to get to a grocery store later today.
I suppose if nothing else, there's plenty of dry cat food left, so we could feast on that.
Steve is having salad. I'm having leftover Mexican. So do you guys want to hear a funny story? Today is Wednesday. It's currently 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I believe is what we're in. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Our video should be going live for today. And the funny thing is, we finished the video and we thought we had loaded it. We've been a little bit ahead with loading our videos, so we thought, oh, we're all good. The only thing we had to do was do the thumbnail and description for the video. So we were having lunch, and I was like, oh, well, we need to turn on Starlink so I can finish up the video. I opened up YouTube, and the video was not loaded. So here we are. We're using Starlink now, and when we first fired it up, it said it was over 2 hours for the video to load, which is pretty slow. Now it's a little bit better, and now it's saying we have a little over 40 minutes. So our video is going to be late, but I guess that's fine. But it's just kind of funny that we didn't even realize the video wasn't loaded. So I also had some work to do, so we're using Starlink for a few different things, but we were trying to be careful not to use too much data since we only had 10 gigs.
So I feel like we're still kind of learning the ins and outs of Starlink and all the techie part of it all. When we first hooked it up, I did a speed test, and the download was, I think, around 3 or 4. The upload was also at 3 or 4, like super, super slow. And now it's up to, I think, closer to what it should be, around 200 download and 20 upload. So quite the learning curve with this. Again, better than nothing, but as far as like knowing what to expect and having reasonable expectations of it, I think we're still trying to figure that out.
So it is interesting using this for the first few times and it not going so well, and then also comparing. The only thing we have to compare it to is when we're with Bill and Christina and use their Starlink. And I think the last time we loaded our video on theirs, it was like over 100 megabytes per second upload. So it's kind of interesting. We don't really understand what makes it faster or slower at different times, if it has anything to do with the plans, location, how many other people are using it. But I guess it's better than nothing. So it's a little bit of a bummer because it's kind of throwing a wrench in our plans. We didn't anticipate having to wait over an hour to load a video. We already were hoping to be on our next hike and then be heading west, leaving Glacier. So everything's just pushed back a little bit right now.
So I'm just sitting here doing what any normal guy does. I hear some rustling to the front side of the van, and it was some bighorn sheep just coming through the parking lot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty wild, looking up and seeing the little guys walking through the parking lot. They look like pretty young bighorn sheep. And in other news, our video is all loaded and ready to go.
Getting ready to wrap things up, and we've had a recent development in the kitty cat mama department.
Can't go anywhere if there's a kitty on me. She loves to put her paw on me. Alright, well, mission accomplished. Video is posted. Our first hike we finished. We saw some mountain goats. No, not mountain goats, bighorn sheep. And now we're finally heading to our second hike of the day. It's a short one, so Steve should like that.
Yep.
Yes, there's a spot right there in the first one if you want it.
Worked out.
Yeah, I'll say. Because there aren't many spots here. Yeah, that definitely worked out because there are not many spots here. Alright, let's go check out another waterfall. Well, Steve should definitely like this one. It's 0.6 miles total, and it's paved.
Little known fact, not only is this bear attack deterrent, it also works nicely as body deodorizer.
And it'll also keep the bears away.
Good thing they have a bench on this one. Oh, 0.3 is a killer.
You like that waterfall? Well, we have officially left Glacier. We are heading west on Route 2, back to where we started on the west side. I think we're going to head back to our favorite boondocking spot tonight. Here we are, the spot of the moose sighting, but I don't see any today.
Let's hope it's not as bad as the last time.
Oh, actually it looks worse. Well, what do you think? You think it could possibly be worse?
I think what I'm gonna do is do a recon mission here and check it out.
It's probably smart. So we're back at our favorite spot, but since there's been rain, it looks pretty muddy. We're trying to decide if it looks worse or not than last time.
It rained all day yesterday, so everything is quite muddy here. Alright, so I walked the most treacherous parts of this journey, and I think we're going to be okay. It's just that first big mud puddle. I think if I hug the side, we'll be alright. So this part right here will be probably the trickiest part to maneuver. If I stay over here to this side, we'll be okay. on the one side. Of course, I have no idea what's awaiting us on the other side. Not a big puddle, but as I recall, it wasn't too terribly bad.
Well, what do you think?
I think we'll be okay. This first big puddle is going to be the trickiest part of the whole journey. But I think if I hug the passenger side, we should be okay. Of course, I have no idea what's in the puddle. Hopefully it's not terribly deep. But then once we get beyond that, it's smooth sailing as far as this journey is concerned.
Even that big dip?
Yep.
You thought that was the easier part?
Well, as far as the blood is concerned.
Alright. And we're pretty level. It's after 7 o'clock, and we've just decided to keep it simple tonight for dinner. We're doing ham and cheese sandwiches. Well, this has been the perfect way to end the day. Just sitting here by the water, relaxing. Tomorrow we're gonna start heading west. We'll see you in the morning.
Breakfast is served.
Thank you. Alright, good morning you guys. We are getting ready to head out from our overnight spot. Dumped lemonade. We're starting to secure everything because it's a little bit of a bumpy ride getting out of here. Alright, everything's all secure. Alright, you ready for the rodeo?
Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, we did it. We survived.
Who needs the rodeo when you got bumpy boondocking spots?
Audra spotted some wildflowers and couldn't resist, so she jumped out. She's gonna go pick some.
Wow. Look what I got.
Wow.
Takes a long time to get enough daisies, though. I got some pretties for the van. So what did you just spot?
I spied with my little eyes a water spout. Spring. A little water spring spout.
And what are we going to do with that?
Take a shower.
Tell the truth, Steve.
Gonna fill up our water jug, Audra.
Well, that was perfect timing because we needed to fill up our 6-gallon tank. Now let's hear what Steve thought about Glacier.
It was super cool. I would say definitely in the top 5 parks. What really stood out was all the wildlife we were blessed to see. The grizzly encounter taking the top spot was amazing. Also maybe a little too close for comfort, but amazing nonetheless. And then seeing the moose and all the other little critters we saw, that really helped to make our experience great.
And would you go back again?
Yes, I definitely would. I'm realizing I think that's my benchmark for these areas, and that is would I go back again? So absolutely would go back again. So what did you think?
I really liked it. I'd have to say that my first impressions were that the mountains are not as impressive, the peaks are not as impressive as some of the other places we've been, like Teton and the Colorado Rockies, but they are beautiful, and what I like the most are the rivers and waterfalls, the wildflowers everywhere because of when we were there, and like Steve said, the wildlife. The wildlife definitely was just like knock your socks off. We saw more wildlife there than we have at any other park for sure. It was amazing.
I keep thinking about that bear. I really could have taken it. I don't know. I think if I went for more of the surprise attack and like, hey, what's this over here? Bam! He wouldn't have seen it coming.
We'll just let him think that, right? So now that we've been to Glacier, I thought maybe I would share some tips that might be helpful if you're planning on going to Glacier in the future. When we started doing planning, we really didn't know much about Glacier, and I feel like I wasn't really prepared for what it's like when we got there. A lot of people had said, oh, you need to make sure you wait long enough in the season until the Going to the Sun road is open, because, you know, that's a big thing to see. But what I didn't realize is really that's almost all of Glacier. I just assumed that when we got there on the west side that there'd be things to do before getting on the Going to the Sun road. And of course you have to have reservations if it's after 7 a.m. or before 3 p.m. But we got there and realized there really is nothing to do unless you're on that road. So keep that in mind. You either want to make reservations ahead of time or you need to get in before 7 or after 3. So it took a little bit more planning, I think, because of that. If you come in on the east side, you don't have to do the reservations. You can go in any time. But if you're like us and you're traveling in a van or other rig and you don't want to do campgrounds, it's pretty tricky because the boondocking spots, at least that we know of, are not close to the east entrance. We wondered if we could get away with parking nearby, or even we saw some vans that we think maybe even parked in the park at night at some different spots, but we didn't really want to risk that. So it's just something to think about if you're planning on going there. The other thing is that there are just a lot of people, and there are popular trails, and it's really hard to find parking. So I would say the busiest challenging point is Logan Pass, the visitor center. There's a couple of really popular trails there, the Hidden Lake Trail and the Highline Trail. And people said that they got there as early as 7:30 in the morning and spots were already filled up. I think we really lucked out when we got there around 10 that we found a spot. If you can, I would definitely recommend considering the shuttle service. It takes you all through the park and then you don't have to worry about parking. With us, because of how we travel and having the cat, we didn't want to do that. So it was just easier for us to try to plan things with the van. And we just assumed when we got the Logan Pass that it would be full and we'd have to move on and do something else. So that was pretty nice that it worked out. Another thing that's really important to be prepared for is that there really is no cell service in the park. I expected there to be spotty. In Yellowstone and the Tetons, we had cell service off and on, actually more than we thought we would. But in Glacier, it is pretty non-existent. Once you leave the west or east side, there's not much of anything. The park does offer some Wi-Fi on the west side of the visitor center and on the east side, but even that's kind of iffy, and we had cell service there, so we didn't really need the Wi-Fi there so much. But I think on the west side at Apgar, they limit you to a half an hour, and you have to sign in with an email. And then on the St. Mary side, I don't think that was limited, but you did have to sign in. And it's kind of important to be prepared because for navigation, knowing where amenities are and things like that. What we did, we actually downloaded the Google map for that area before we went into the park. And I also downloaded, the National Park Service has an app that we have. I downloaded the information for Glacier so we could look up where bathrooms were, where certain hikes were. I did realize there are a lot of hikes that aren't on the app and some information isn't correct. A couple of random things just to mention. At Logan Pass, there are bathrooms, but there are no sinks. I thought that was the weirdest thing because they are flush toilets. There's no reason there can be sinks, but there aren't, so keep that in mind. Also, when we were going to Two Medicine yesterday, we actually stopped at the lodge before we went into the park because it actually didn't show any bathrooms in the app for the Two Medicine area. You can look up amenities. And so we just thought there weren't any, which we thought was weird. But when we got there, there actually is a general store, and there were several different bathrooms, pit toilets and flush toilets. So that's a little tip to keep in mind. I guess you can't always rely on the app, but it is helpful. One of the things to keep in mind also is how much the weather can change very drastically. So from one day to the next, we had like 75-degree weather probably, blue skies, very sunny. And then the next, it was completely opposite, rainy, cold, mid-40s. When we were at Logan Pass Visitor Center, they did have posted some of the weather forecasts for some of the area, so I would recommend checking that out if you don't have cell service. Really be prepared with what weather's going to be like. So every time we could, we would check, and we would check all the different areas and save that so we could plan ahead. Another thing, as we learned, carry bear spray with you. It is no joke. Be prepared, know what to do if you have run-ins with wildlife, because that can be a scary thing. And then I would say just above all, have a plan A and B and maybe even C, because it's such a busy, popular park that you might not be able to get to do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. So just be ready, be flexible. There's lots of great stuff to do and see. So it'll all work out. Just be ready to be flexible.
Well, now we're heading back into town. We're going to restock on some groceries, get some gas, and hopefully get some work done.
We are going to be making our way to a new state for us, the state of Idaho. And this is where we're going to leave you for now. So if you haven't already, hit that like button if you've enjoyed coming along with us. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment. We love hearing from you guys.
Oh, and one last thing. Just remember, look over here. Pacha!
This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram.